Hi, and welcome to this video on Raspberry Pi Pico 2. So today I got this board from one of my supplier, and I was very interested in this board because it features a USB Type-C port rather than the original's micro USB port. The USB Type-C port is now becoming the standard USB port for almost every device from cell phones to laptops and every other electronic device that we use regularly. But upon getting this board, I was a bit frustrated because I could not load the official MicroPython firmware in it, and I was trying a lot and not finding the proper reason. So I found out that USB boot works. That means I can go to the boot mode, and once I get into the boot mode, I can upload any UF2 file and the file perfectly works. I tried the official Blink example and the other USB, Hello USB example, and they work perfectly fine. But the main reason for that frustration was I could not get the MicroPython firmware up and running. So right now, MicroPython has released version 1.26.1, and this firmware was not working. So I was wondering what is going on. Why isn't it working? Because the COM port is working as per the Hello USB example. The Blink is also working, and that is evident once I upload the Blink UF2 file. So I couldn't find the reason. And after inspecting with the official board and comparing with it, I found out that this clone has some differences, although both look pretty much the same on both sides. Uh, but the difference is the flash memory. So apparently, this clone Pico 2 uses GD25 something something flash. So this chip, so this is not the same chip as this one. So although these boards have similar features and almost identical looks, and even the same RP2350A chip, but the main difference is the flash, and this was wreaking that havoc because the official firmware expects everything as like the official board, and which is not the case in this board. So I tried CircuitPython firmware, and the version was 10 point something. It worked perfectly fine. But again, when I tried to use MicroPython firmware, no matter which version it is, it's just not going to work. So there, I found out that if I use third-party firmware like the ones from Waveshare and other vendors, this board works perfectly fine with MicroPython. So any custom MicroPython firmware will work with this board as well as this one, but this board will not work with the official MicroPython firmware. And if you go to the MicroPython website, you will find that there is no generic RP2350 firmware. So whatever firmware that is available in the MicroPython website is either related to a board or the official board. Like there are boards from SparkFun also, Seed we know, and other vendors, but there is no generic board, generic firmware for the RP2350 chip. So in the end, I got this board up and running with the Waveshare firmware, and it's working now perfectly fine without any issue. So this was one lesson that I had today, and I was never expecting something like that, because previously when the first Raspberry Pi Pico or RP2040 was released, I had uh, several boards which are not the official ones, but they are the clone ones, and the official firmware works perfectly fine with them. But in the case of this RP2350, things are pretty different, and it was a completely unexpected journey. So I hope you guys all have learned something today and enjoyed this video. A like, share, and subscribe will be appreciated. That keeps me going. Hope to see you in a new video. Thanks for now. Goodbye.